where any property has been contracted to be sold for one consideration for the whole and is conveyed to the purchaser in separate parts by different instruments. The consideration shall be apportioned in such manner as the parties think fit, provided that a distinct consideration for each separate part is set forth in the conveyance relating thereto, and such conveyance shall be chargeable with ad valorem duty in respect of such distinct consideration, where property contracted to be purchased for one consideration for the whole by two or more persons jointly, or by any person for himself and others, or wholly for others, is conveyed in parts by separate instruments to the persons by or for whom the same was purchased for distinct parts of the consideration. The conveyance of each separate part shall be chargeable with ad valorem duty in respect of the distinct part of the consideration therein specified, where a person having contracted for the purchase of any property but not having obtained a conveyance thereof contracts to sell the same to any other person on the property is in consequence conveyed immediately to the sub-purchaser. The conveyance shall be chargeable with ad valorem duty in respect of the consideration for the sale by the original purchaser to the sub-purchaser, where a person having contracted for the purpose and purchase of any property but not having obtained a conveyance thereof contracts to sell the whole or any part thereof to any other person or persons on the property is in consequence conveyed by the original seller to different persons in parts. The respondent entered appearance and filed written statement denying the material allegations made in the plaint. Leaving aside the other facts in the present case, we may state here that a specific defense taken by the respondents in their written statement was to the effect that the suit was barred by limitation in view of Article 58 of the Act, because the suit having been filed after about 18 years of entering into the compromise by the parties in the High Court in the latest patent appeal must be filed within 3 years from the date of entering into the alleged compromise by the parties. Accordingly, the respondents allege that the suit must be dismissed on the ground of limitation. We may make it clear that since the only question involved in this appeal is relating to the question of limitation, we have not considered the other aspects of the matter in the judgment. After the parties had entered appearance and led evidence in support of their respective cases also on the point of limitation, the trial court held inter alia that the suit was barred by limitation in view of Article 58 of the Act, as the cause of action arose on the date of compromise entered into by the parties. Feeling aggrieved, the appellant filed an appeal before the Additional District Judge Kanpur, who also dismissed the appeal of the appellant, inter alia holding that the suit was barred by limitation. Consequent thereupon, the appellants approached the High Court in second appeal, and the High Court also dismissed the appeal, holding that Article 58 of the Act, a declaratory suit, must be filed within 3 years of arising the cause of action for filing the suit. The High Court held in the impugned judgment that the cause of action arose when the parties had entered into the compromise, and therefore the suit having been filed on 21st of August 1990 was barred by time, and since it was filed after 18 years from the date of the said compromise. Ready? Start. The petitioner, having been deprived of his livelihood and his future pension, contends that while he was in service in the prime of his life, he was blessed with 4 daughters from his first wife, Parvati. One of the daughters died, and 3 who survived were married by the petitioner respectively. However, his first wife was allegedly suffering from cancer of the uterus, and therefore, with her consent, the petitioner contracted the second marriage with Devrati in the year 1982, only for the sole purpose of having a son whose birth would guarantee his salvation and emancipation from this world as per accepted Hindu religious belief. The petitioner further contends that this second marriage was under the aforesaid compulsory circumstances which emanated out of this old traditional and orthodox belief that had a moral and religious sanction behind it. The petitioner consummated the second marriage for the said purpose, which has been admitted by himself throughout the inquiry proceedings and is also corroborated by the statement of the first wife Parvati, who was produced as a witness during the inquiry proceedings. The petitioner had also taken a defense that he had duly intimated the then Superintendent of Police Farakhabad, Mr. G.P. Sharma, about his intention to do so, and a plea was also set up before the authorities that permission had been granted by the then Superintendent of Police. The petitioner, however, failed to produce any documentary evidence to demonstrate the same on this score. The inquiry officer found the petitioner to have misconducted himself, which finding was accepted by the disciplinary authority, and the services of the petitioner were dispensed with accordingly. It is contended that the action of the state in not regularizing the employees was not fair within the framework of the rule of law. The rule of law compels the state to make appointments as envisaged by the Constitution and in the manner we have indicated earlier. In most of these cases, no doubt the employees had worked for some length of time, but this has also been brought about by the pendency of proceedings in tribunals and the courts initiated at the instance of the employees. Moreover, accepting an argument of this nature would mean that the state would be permitted to perpetuate an illegality in the matter of public employment, and that would be a negation to the constitutional scheme adopted by us. It is therefore not possible to accept the argument that there must be a direction to make permanent all the persons employed on daily wages. When the court is approached for relief by way of errant petition, the court has necessarily to ask itself whether the person before it had any legal right to be enforced. Considered in the light of the very clear constitutional scheme, it cannot be said that the employees have been able to establish a legal right to be made permanent even though they have never been appointed